Hi, welcome to Inference. This is the place where you learn and improve. In this video, I will be talking about the biosphere. The biosphere is the sum of all Earth's ecosystems, including terrestrial and aquatic environments. The biosphere is thought to have begun with the first appearance of life on Earth and extends to the upper atmosphere. An ecosystem is a community of different species of living organisms and their physical environment. An ecosystem can be as small as a pond or as large as the Amazon rainforest. Ecosystems can be found in all sorts of places, from the coldest parts of the Arctic to the hottest deserts. Each ecosystem has its unique combination of plants, animals, and other organisms, which interact with each other and with their physical environment to produce the characteristic features of that ecosystem. The term ecosystem was first coined in 1930 by British ecologist Arthur Tansley. Tansley's concept of an ecosystem was based on the idea that the different parts of an ecosystem are interconnected and interdependent, and that each part affects the other parts. Today, the term ecosystem is used to describe any system, natural or man-made, that includes all of the living and non-living components that interact with each other to produce a particular result. For example, the human body can be considered an ecosystem, as it includes all of the different organs, cells, and other components that work together to keep the body functioning. The term ecosystem is also used to describe technological platforms, such as Apple's iOS smartphone ecosystem. The biosphere is made up of interacting parts, including the atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and pedosphere. The atmosphere is the layer of gases that surrounds the Earth. The hydrosphere is the Earth's water, including oceans, lakes, rivers, and groundwater. The lithosphere is the solid outer layer of the Earth, including the crust and upper mantle. The pedosphere is the Earth's surface layer, including soil and sediment. The biosphere is the sum of all ecosystems on Earth, including both natural and human-created systems. As I mentioned previously, ecosystems are composed of interacting populations of plants, animals, and microorganisms, as well as the physical environment. The biosphere is divided into several biomes, which are large-scale ecosystems with similar climates and dominant plant life. Examples of biomes include deserts, forests, grasslands, and tundra. Humans are an important part of the biosphere, and our activities can have a significant impact on the environment. We can conserve the biosphere by protecting ecosystems, managing resources responsibly, and reducing pollution and waste. The biosphere can be divided into several distinct zones, each with its climate, flora, and fauna. The most well-known of these zones are the polar regions, the temperate zones, and the tropical regions. The polar regions are characterized by cold temperatures and a lack of sunlight. The flora and fauna of these regions are adapted to these conditions. For example, many plants in the polar regions have thick, waxy leaves that prevent them from losing moisture. Animals in the polar regions, such as penguins and seals, have thick layers of fur or feathers that help them to stay warm. The temperate zones are located between the polar regions and the tropics. These regions have moderate temperatures and a moderate amount of sunlight. The flora and fauna of the temperate zones are adapted to these conditions. For example, many plants in the temperate zones have leaves that change color in the fall, when the days become shorter and the temperatures begin to drop. Animals in temperate zones, such as squirrels and birds, typically hibernate or migrate when the weather becomes too cold. The tropical regions are located near the Earth's equator. These regions are characterized by warm temperatures and a lot of sunlight. The flora and fauna of the tropical regions are adapted to these conditions. For example, many plants in tropical regions have large, broad leaves that help them to absorb sunlight. Animals in tropical regions, such as reptiles and insects, are often active during the day when it is warm and inactive at night when it is cool. The biosphere also includes the oceans, which cover more than 70% of the Earth's surface. The oceans are home to a variety of plant and animal life. The plants and animals of the oceans are adapted to the unique conditions found in these environments, such as the high levels of salt in the water. The biosphere is the global ecological system integrating all living beings and their interactions with the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. The term biosphere was coined by Austrian geologist Edward Swiss in 1875, who recognized the importance of the living world as a distinctive and interacting entity. The biosphere is an important concept in the field of environmental science. It helps us to understand the complex interactions between the different parts of the Earth system and the living organisms that inhabit it. The biosphere is also a key element of the Earth's life support system, providing the conditions necessary for the survival of all organisms. The biosphere is under constant change, both natural and human-induced. Natural changes include the cycling of elements such as carbon and nitrogen, the formation of new rock and soil, and the climate changes that occur over long periods. Human activities, such as the burning of fossil fuels, the clearing of forests, and the release of pollutants into the air, water, and soil, can also cause changes in the biosphere. The biosphere is important for many reasons. It is the source of all life on Earth. It regulates the Earth's climate and weather, it purifies the air and water, and it provides the raw materials for all of the Earth's ecosystems. The biosphere is also a key element of the Earth's life support system, providing the conditions necessary for the survival of all organisms. The biosphere is a dynamic and complex system, and its future is uncertain. The health of the biosphere is essential for the survival of all life on Earth, and it is therefore important to understand the factors that can impact its functioning. The biosphere is a closed and self-regulating system where matter and energy flow through food webs. The biosphere is made up of interacting parts, including the atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and pedosphere. The impact of human activity on the biosphere has been profound, and its consequences are becoming increasingly apparent. The most obvious manifestation of this impact is the rapid increase in the size and number of human settlements, and the corresponding increase in the amount of land converted to human use. This conversion has led to the loss of natural habitats, the fragmentation of ecosystems, and the introduction of non-native species. It has also resulted in the release of large amounts of greenhouse gases and other pollutants into the atmosphere, altering the Earth's climate. The human population has more than doubled in the last 50 years and is projected to reach 9 billion by 2050. This growth is putting unprecedented pressure on the planet's resources. The demand for food, water, and energy is increasing, while the availability of these resources is diminishing. This is leading to competition and conflict over resources, and the degradation of the environment. The impact of human activity on the biosphere is evident in the loss of biodiversity. The number of species of plants and animals on Earth is estimated to have been between 3 and 30 million. Today, there are only about 1.75 million species of plants and animals that have been described by science. This loss of biodiversity is largely due to the destruction of natural habitats, as well as to the introduction of non-native species. The impact of human activity on the biosphere is also evident in the way that the Earth's climate is changing. The Earth's average temperature has increased by about 0.8 degrees Celsius over the last century. This increase is largely due to the release of greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide and methane, into the atmosphere. These gases trap heat, causing the Earth's temperature to rise. The impact of human activity on the biosphere is having profound consequences for the planet and its inhabitants. The loss of biodiversity, the alteration of the Earth's climate, the depletion of resources, and the increase in pollution are all having negative impacts on the environment and human health. The challenge for the future is to find ways to reduce the impact of human activity on the biosphere, while still meeting the needs of the growing human population. Alright, folks. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about the biosphere. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Goodbye.